play a game.
Apparently it's time. Oh, it's a celebrating cat there. Okay, whatever. It's stuck, clearly. You may hear a bit of noise this morning. There's a giant heater running behind me that has yet to calm down because it was cold in here when I came in. Anyway, hello to Chocky, who's not here, and Melbourne Train Guy, who won't be here, apparently. Hi, Rails. Hi, Michael. Hi, Mark B, you Burke, and Gav, and anybody else who happens to be watching. We're using rail drivers. We should put on the thing, shouldn't we? We should put on the thing. Where is the thing? There it is. Dook. It's going to work. Just going to work. Look at that. It's almost lined up properly too. Let's go that way a little bit. There we go. Running rail driver, and naturally we'll be running the Cobra mod because, you know, you need to. What are we doing? 0 to 30 or 30? Well, I'll do a long one. Why not? We nearly always do quickies. I'll do a long one. Benjamin, hello. I will let you hello to you as well. Hope everybody is well. Had a great day yesterday firing the big Garrett. Couldn't stop the bloody thing making steam, let alone worry about having enough steam. I had plenty. There was no issue there. Start up the mixy thingy as well so I can see what's going on. Game volume's a little low. Eye of the Storm. We've gone into a scenario. It's an American one. We're in Los Angeles? I think we're in Los Angeles. Due to last night's stormy conditions, blah, blah, blah. Yep. Must report any hazards or incidents. Drunk people, dogs, cats, that sort of thing. Can I move? No, can't. I can zoom. I can do it that way. Fair. Where's my mouse gone? Ah, there we go. Right. Dim. I know some people who could be described as dim. Left doors, I assume. Very good. So what are we actually driving? I'm driving a roof. Very good. Let's try that one. For whatever reason, it is not believing the right mouse button, which is something I hate about scenarios, because sometimes they control shit they don't need to control, and then you're stuck. But fortunately, I also have an Xbox controller plugged in, so now we can go and see what we're driving. Kind of. That thing. Okay. The baby bullet. Oh! I completely forgot. I was going to do the Canada thing today, wasn't I? I was going to do the Canada thing. You know what? We should make that work. We'll do this first. I don't think I've actually installed the mod yet. Let me just get this one moving. Release the Kraken. It is America after all. Off we go as it pumps everything. Nah, the scenario didn't want gauge lights, but we can do it. Makes you happy. Let's turn off Beelzebub. Passengers on the platform will survive. Gav says driving a roof is the best train. Absolutely. Rails wants to be very prototypical today. I am running the Cobra 1 mod, naturally, for Rail Driver, because Rail Driver in the game's kind of, well, shit. Putting it mildly. Very mildly. But anyway, while that's starting off, let me, on another screen you guys can't see, let me figure out if I actually installed the Canada mod or not. Because I had a grand plan to install the Canada mod and go have a look at it. That all looks like railroader stuff to me, so I don't think I've even downloaded it. So let me do that now, while this train's driving. Of course, we'll have to restart the game to make this work. We want Train Sim World, and we want packs, and we want... I think it was a timetable. Maybe? I think it was a timetable. How's the train going? Oh, what's windscreen wipers? Very good. Looks like speed still tolerable. Maybe it's not a timetable. I thought it was. I'm looking on Train Sim Community while we're running the game here, so I can't actually see you at the moment because I've covered you up. So sorry if there's people chatting. Toronto Commuter 2024 Timetable Enhancement Pack. That's the one. And... doesn't have a TSW 5 version, but TSW 4 would normally still work. So if we download that, download that, download that, and download that, which hopefully won't destroy the stream. Got yellow over yellow over yellow over yellow. Excellent. So it is gradually downloading stuff. Yeah, we're going out that way, so we're heading off to we're heading out to not Antelope, the other one, whatever it's called. Fair enough. Where's these downloads happening, or did it? I see only 2. There should be more. Maybe they didn't all download. Which one did I get? It's the timetable pack. It's the other timetable pack. No, it's the timetable 3 pack. I don't want that. Go away. I want the timetable 4 pack. And I want the repaints pack. No, that's downloading now. And I want the stations pack. And I've got the timetable one, so I should be able to copy these into the game. And we're going to take a chance and do it live. Yeah. What could go wrong? Everything. What will go wrong? Nothing. Probably. Probably. TS2 prototype. Content. Look. Copy. Right, so in theory, got everything we need for Canada and Canada. Do we need to do anything else to make Canada work? No. Alright, so we'll do Canada after we've done this. That seems fair to me. I'll have to restart the game, so you'll have to put up with a blank screen for a little while, but that'll be okay. Hey look, the mouse moves now. See? Stupid scenarios. Rails downloaded some mods that haven't been updated for TSW5. Yeah, if they work before, they usually do usually do actually work for 5, because, you know, it is the same game. I Will Eat You says, you mean the Oakville subdivision mod with the goofy looking go trains? Yeah, Canada. There's no one in that train, is there? Not one. I'm running a train for no one. Pretty sure there was no one. Let's have another look. Yep, no one. Not a sausage. Oh no, we're going too fast briefly. It's raining, so we should open the window. That sounds better. How is everybody anyway? You all having fun? Good mate of mine's doing his fireman's assessment today. And I have to say, you can clearly see the difference between the younger generation and the older generation. Because being a member of the older generation, there is not a chance in hell that I would have fired the same trip yesterday. But he did. And he'll get up, and he'll already be, well, actually 8:43, he should be almost out of the shed. But he'll be up there and right into it. We set him up well, though, last night. We kicked him out before his time was up and told him to go home. We found him the driest wood. The driver that loaded coal for him got him fresh coal off the top of the pile, so it's nice large lumps instead of little grains of rice. So you give him the best chance to succeed. I was just thinking we should speed up. Because, you know, we're supposed to be doing 45. Or something akin to it. Rails says, yay, we're going to get soaked. Yep, pretty much. How's your museum stuff going, Rails? Because you're at the Illinois Railway Museum, if I recall correctly. How are you enjoying that? Hopefully you're still there. I Will Eat You says, the Oakville subdivision to me still looks pretty good for an old TSW 2020 route. Is it 2020 or 2? I can't remember. I'm certainly not going to fight you on it, because I really do not remember which one it came out in. Could look it up, but that would require far too much excitement. And it's Sunday morning. It's not a time for excitement. Says he, modding a game while playing it. Like, that never goes wrong. 2 miles to Cal State LA station. Rail says 2020 was when it came out, so it could well be part of the original release. Thank you for looking that up, Rails. I know that's about as many cars as TSW can handle because people's computers would catch fire. But it's interesting that that doesn't look anything like an LA freeway. Even at 3 o'clock in the morning, an LA freeway is chock-a-block. But that's okay. I was playing Subway Sim 2, which is in Unreal 5. And I see it still has the stutters. So should this game move to Unreal 5, which just saying it's not likely to be this game if it moves to Unreal 5, it would probably be an entirely different game because you'd have to rewrite it. But you're still going to have the stuttering that the joyous thing that is the Unreal Engine brings us. I Will Eat You says there's a Victorian Railways F-Class, which looks like a Class 08. Indeed it does. It is a Class 08. It is the same locomotive. I actually think it's a Class 09, by the way, rather than an 08, because they can do 25 mile an hour, which suggests an 09. The 08, I think, is limited to 20. They were used as yard shunters in quite a few places. And there's still 2 alive. There's one at Steamrail, and it even gets used occasionally to move stuff around. And I think there's one up at Seymour. I've never seen that one used, but I can't say I get to Seymour all that often either. Next stop is Cal State LA Station, but I don't know why I'm announcing that to the train because there's no one in it. So far, we haven't seen any storm-related anomalies. The only anomaly here is that it's raining in Los Angeles. It's not something that happens. Not often, anyway. Gav says 20th of Feb 2020 from TSW 2020. Indeed. Very cool. Thank you, folks. Rail says 08s were allowed up to 15, although they're capable of 20 and 23 was forced for the overspeed alarm. There are different variations of the 08, and one of them, I think it's the 08-1, was 15 mile an hour, but the others are 20. And the 09 is 25. Should probably think about stopping. To a major brake application here. Back of the train will be in the station, it'll be fine. Oh no, it's got those horrible brakes. There we go, it's gonna be perfect. Look at that. Look at that. Perfect. May take 15 minutes to get that brake application to release, but that's okay. So we'll start doing that now. We'll get passengers now. Wow. Impressive. Impressive indeed. Of course, this station, if I remember correctly, has got the murals and stuff, which are kind of cool. The young couple staring wistfully off into the distance. In today's California, that would not be a male and a female, it would be something else. I don't understand the point of putting angel wings up there, because the whole idea of angel wings is you stand in them and get angel wings for your photos, but that's okay. It's fine. Cal State Public Safety. Yes, we put a box on the platform and now you're safe. Excellent. Ah, bad guy. You have dived in as Guard. Thank you. Welcome along as a member. We're supposed to lock the doors. That probably means we're supposed to go. Why was it beeping? Let's get a little power on. And release the Independent. There we go. No need for the bell because the lead's actually out of the platform. There you go. You have the cat emoji available to you now. I really must do some more perks for my members. I don't do anywhere near enough members-only videos. Off we go to El Monte, where they do the full Monty every day at 7:30 p.m. in the Sunshine Bar. Otherwise known as the Sausage Party Bar. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you don't know what the full Monty is. And I'm sad for you. Down the center of the freeway. It's better than it when it first came out, but it's still not amazing, is it? Good place to rest your hand, the brake handle. But I shouldn't really do that, because when you do that in the real trains, the examiners smack your hand. Get off! I had a driver at the Garrett yesterday, and it was pulling a train that weighed about the same as it did, and it was very hard to actually get the brakes right. I even accidentally stopped in the middle of a level crossing once because I had a little bit too much on, and by the time I got around to realising I had a bit too much on and releasing it, the train pulled up right in the middle of the level crossing. It's like, okay. Toot, off we go. That's cool, bad guy. Yeah, a couple of people gifted subs last month. I think Kat did, and I think V for Vicky did as well. Ironically, V himself is not a member, but he gifted 5. He's a nice guy. Yeah, I just pressed the 8 key and I think it's crashed. Yep, it's going well. It's not really responding to anything anymore. That'll teach me for trying to get external views. Oh! Wow! I didn't expect that to recover. Ooh, it's still sad. Why are you stopped in the middle of the freeway, sir? You're going to get killed. Ah! Straight through the cars. Love it. Yep. Yep. That's just a little bit weird. But that's okay. We are allowed to accelerate, so let's do that. Straight into notch 8. I Will Eat You says, do you know the Finnish game My Summer Car? No, I don't actually. Hello, Maddie Lynn, how are you? Matty L. Lynn, in fact. If you're Welsh, your name would be pronounced something like Matty Thin. Because the Welsh are weird with their L's. Oh, a yellow signal. I knew it, the joy couldn't last. Better start slowing down then. Adrian Reinhardt, hello. Just played this train for the first time yesterday. Good God, it hurt your brain. You mean the MP36 hurt your brain, or Train Sim World hurt your brain? People do struggle a little bit with this this route sometimes. I get a lot of questions about this route. The thing I get the most questions about, weirdly enough, is Bakerloo. And everybody forgets that there's 2 switches down on the left-hand side, not 1. See, even with the Cobra mod, sometimes things jump around a little bit. I will let you says my summer car is a game set in Finland. You can drive cars. There is a train in it. I think there was a movie called My Summer Car too, if I'm not mistaken. Ah, it's the MP36 that hurt your brain. Maddie Lynn says, I have had people think it's just one whole name and called me Mateline. Okay. Yep, that works. Adrian says, even Amtrak was better than this train. Rails says that's because people have never driven US trains. US trains very simple, I have to say, Rails. They're quite simple to drive. Bad Guy says, pull on a PC when you use the screens on a train. When you go into the screen mode, you can actually press a button without using the mouse, because I know on PlayStation, whenever you press the X button. Do you mean you can zoom into the screens on PlayStation finally? Even screen mode, all it keeps coming out with is driver mode. Driver mode on the side, you can't actually press any buttons in screen mode in any of the screens. So no, it's still buggered. That's uncool. So why did we have a yellow signal? Strange. The car zooms down the middle of the freeway. Oh, how about that? Driven 36 miles since the last time I reset everything. That's probably why we had a yellow signal. We have to slow down to 40, but we're almost there, so it's fine. We're almost at El Monte as well. Bad Guy says I've reported it like 4 times. I think hundreds of people have reported it, to be honest. It works on the newer trains, but not on the older ones. My gut feel, Bad Guy, is it's actually been fixed, but it has not been released. But yes, let me drop into the... It's been more than a year, hasn't it? That would be an accurate statement. Now, I know Alex is on holidays, so I won't tag him. I'll tag JD. There we go. Done. I have to say, one of the other ambassadors is very enthusiastic. He's just put in about 16 pages of feedback on signals on the Frankfurt route. Oh, you want me to stop? Where's this fallen tree? We're on a bridge. Did we drive right through it? No, we are supposed to stop. Okay. Contact signaler button. Alright, there's a button, is there? Is that on a handset down there? Thought so. Proceed. Okay, good. So where was this tree? Where is this tree? Oh, there. Yeah, I just drove straight through it because I was too busy reporting Bad Guy's problem. Fair enough. We'll be gentle to the train. No need for a donger. She'll go once he's pumped up the back of the train, which will be happening slowly. There we go, although I can still hear brake squeal. So the brakes haven't completely released yet. Gab says Alex is not allowed on holidays. I agree with that. Uberk says, with Alex the signal guy in GTG. No. No, there's another guy that does signals. Why is that not releasing the brakes? They should be released. Oh well, we'll just outpull them. Those gauges all say that the brakes are released, because we're looking down here. I can hear the noises are stopping now. So on the left-hand side, the red one is the main res, so that's where the air pressure comes from to release or pump the brakes. The equalizing reservoir is what you're actually setting pressure to. So when you're setting pressure with the automatic brake handle, you should watch the equalizing reservoir pressure, not the pressure that's going into the brake pipe, because that sets first and then it will equalize the brake pipe to match it. So if you're watching the white needle on this one, you'll end up in trouble because you'll apply too much brake. And the red one shows the brake application in this locomotive on one bogie only. Bad guy. Bad guy says Alex is my least favourite of the community team, probably because I'm one of the old school guys. And kind of when he came in, he collapsed all the old school ways that they had were. I actually think that was JD that did that, rather than Alex. Now sliding into El Monte. Get behind the yellow line, you. Gonna catch your umbrella. But no, they don't care. Why would they care? They're only passengers after all. Bad guy asks if Natalie still works at Dovetail. She does. She works on the board game Catan or whatever it's called. Loading, loading, loading. What's that coming over here? It's an intermodal train. Which track is it on? That one. Come sit down here in the weeds. There we go. Yeah, they gave me a copy of the game when it came out, and I went, but it's not trains. They didn't care. Bad guy says it's nowhere close to is good. By the way, doesn't it? It covered that one. Rail says there's some aspects that people have never heard of, such as bailing off the brakes and the big hole. The big hole is emergency. So you shouldn't be using the big hole. Do you know if your brakes are cut out, big hole is the only thing that works in a cut-out locomotive? Because it's basically just a tap on the brake pipe. Hello, John907i. How are you? Gav confirms board game. Yeah, she is still working there, bad guy. She's doing graphic art, I believe. Which was her thing. Adrian says cheers. Cheers to John as well. It's a little early in the morning for cheers. For me, just a little. Unless it's Anzac Day, in which case we're probably already about 5 hours into a good piss-up. Bad guy says, maybe when Sam was there as a community manager I was working well. I just miss Sam working at Dovetail. Sam was there as a short-term contractor and just ended up there for ages. Sam's leaving was a combination of things happening in his life and a desire to pursue his channel as a money-making thing. And it was quite funny because they often put him up at odds with Matt. But of course it was all scripted. Gonna have to slow down again. 40 zone coming up, very exciting. Baldwin Park station not very far away. That's why the Yanks can't have high-speed rail. Speed restrictions. That's a weird noise. What was that weird noise? The brakes in this thing react quite strangely. There we go. Slow enough to make it round the corner. Just ignore that little red 40 up in the top left-hand corner there. It's fine. It is called Settlers of Catan, yes. I had a look at it. Thought, yeah, okay. Not my thing. I think Pretty Chase had a crack at playing it on air, but wasn't his thing either. I kind of felt that because it wasn't my kind of thing, if I tried to play it, then it would end up being poor. Because, you know, people would just think you're being disingenuous. Oh, this is the crossing where you run over people. Usually a truck. No, we didn't get one today. Here comes the truck, though. Baldwin Park coming up. Ooh, shooter's bridge shot. you know, we have to. It's required. Can't not have a bridge. Focal point. There. Dull that sky down a little. Give it a bit more colour, though. That'll do. Come on, do it. Got to leave footprints of where you've been. I noticed the train doesn't reflect terribly well in the water down there, which is sad. It's reflecting the bottom of the train. It's interesting. It's like it doesn't know the bridge is there, which it probably doesn't. Uh-oh, crossing. It's fine. 2 miles to Baldwin Park. I'm sad that we can't make use of all these sidings around here. That would be cool. Adrian says doing the ICE 3 right now from Frankfurt to München. Very cool. Lord Vectron, hello. Bad guy. Didn't know that, but there you go. Tom Chandler, hello. I just played this scenario yesterday. Hopefully you went all right with it. Enjoyed it. We've ended up here as a one of the Quickies. And I completely missed the tree because, you know, I was busy doing something else. I Will Eat You says Canada should have high speed. Yeah, it should, but its tracks are crap, so it can't. It's like Melbourne. We can't have high speed either because our tracks are crap too. I Will Eat... Bad guy says he works for the company that makes Transport Fever. You know, that wouldn't surprise me because he loves that game. Ah, we're coming up on Homeless Central. Should be a whole lot of tents along here, but there aren't. Just the remains from the Amazon parcel thieves. Started a bit early there on the sequence, but that's alright. Let's start slowing down for Baldwin Park, since this one's not going to be so much of a surprise. Rails says that noise kicks in when the engineer applies the brakes. I don't know why, Rails. Oops, crossing. It's not a noise I've ever heard a train make, I have to say. Maybe this one does. Maybe it's weird, but you know. Next stop, Baldwin Park. If you have no hair or want no hair, this is the station for you. Baldwin Park, where the station car park is bigger than the station. But I suppose that makes a limited sort of sense. Gav says Sam was a Matt and Adam puppet. Kind of. Adam's over at Skyhook now and he loves it. He's a funny bastard, Adam. Is the back of my train in the platform? Let's have a look. Not yet. Better put some power on then or it's not going to. Should tee up a visit with Adam, actually. Go visit Skyhook. Why not? Adam works out of his house, though. So do Just Trains, for that matter. They don't have offices, they just work out of their own houses. Even Dovetail doesn't have that much of an office anymore. They just don't need it. Oh, come on, you. Fine, you think you've stopped. It's fine, then. It's fine. We'll get the doors open. See, that noise is the brake charging from the main res into the equalising it into the brake pipe. But the other noise that comes in just after you apply the brakes, that's a weird sound. Bad Guy says Adam and Sam on stream are 2 gold. They were very funny together, I'll give them that. And the picture is not going to print out in Matt's office and fall right onto his desk. Didn't I unlock the doors? Did I unlock the wrong side, maybe? I don't know. Yeah, it's right. It's fine. It's all good. Hey, that's the only train coming through here for a while. You should get on it. Oi, Mr. Puffer Jacket. Well, it's clearly full of entitled assholes. Get out of my way. Rails says technically there is high speed in Canada. I beg to differ, young fella. There is no high speed in the continental of America. There just isn't. North America, I should say. Because when you compare what Americans and Canadians think is high speed to actual high speed trains, you're only achieving about 1/3 of the speed. Don't roll backwards. Go forwards. There you go. When the fastest trains in the world are doing 540 kilometers an hour now, which is the Chinese maglev, and you've got the Japanese Shinkansen, the newest version looks like it might actually hit 420 in service. And you've got the SNCF TGVs regularly running at about 350. So all these people that are doing 160, not high speed. Medium speed, perhaps. I'll give you medium speed. Fastest train in Australia is 162. And ironically, what we call the high-speed train between Melbourne and Sydney is actually slower than that and spends most of its time doing about 30 mile an hour. Because it's travelling through the mountains and it's curly and windy and... Yep. Off we go to Covina. Out in the Los Angeles wilderness as we transition from Los Angeles wilderness to San Bernardino wilderness. Adam is hilarious, Bad Guy, I agree. He's very, very funny when he's not got one of his corporate hats on too. He turns up on Hentus Rails streams sometimes because they're mates. And he's pretty damn funny there. Rails says you have a 5-car train in tow. I do. It's very short. Yesterday when I was braking with our Garrett, I had 6 cars, but the 6 cars were actually lighter than the Garrett itself. We're stuck again. Well, this is good. Right. This is what happens when you haven't loaded a route for ages. Every now and again it goes, no, stop everything. I've got to load stuff up. You're not important, player. Just wait for me to load stuff. Bad guy says, wasn't Rivet Games at one point in Skyhook all part of Dovetail or something, they split off? I think a lot of the people in both Rivet and Skyhook have at some point in time worked for Dovetail, and they both work on contract for Dovetail. In fact, I think that's the only thing Rivet do now. I don't think they're making their own stuff anymore. I think they're only doing contract work now. I've not seen any sign of making stuff. Rails says the 5-car stop sign should be coming up. I assume that was back in the station a while ago. We're supposed to stop. Need to approach the station with caution. It wants me to stop here though. But I don't want to stop here because we're not at Covina yet. But we will slow down some more. Since we have to approach with caution. See, that's a compressor you can hear running. I did open the doors eventually, Rails. I Will Eat You painted the Class 101 to look like the TTC Toronto rocket, and I just almost missed a crossing because I was reading the chat. Naughty chat. Adrian says you want to enjoy high speed, come to Germany there, and Japan and China. This is correct. Well, actually, not so much Germany, to be honest. Germany, you kind of, you're on the high end of medium speed. I think the French have outdone you, to be honest. And Japan certainly has. I'll actually be in Japan in a few weeks' time. I'll be there in about 6 weeks, I think, something like that. Maybe less. I'll be riding the Shinkansen. We won't start honking here because we're going slowly because Covina has severe flood damage apparently. Well, there's water in the tennis courts over there, so of course they're a disaster. Rails says, why does Australia and North America even have it if they don't utilise high speed? Well, the tracks aren't good enough, basically. Moelichi says, I think DTG Harry is quite funny. She is. Wong is as well. You don't see her much. She's not a community person, but she just gets into it occasionally. So where's this severe flood damage, Covina? Gav says the Chinese maglev train has a height speed of 620. I don't think it's miles an hour. I think that's kilometres an hour, Gav. And I think in service they run at 540. But they did achieve a speed record of 620. Darnell says GWE update. When? Do we know yet? No, we don't know yet. And a better way to ask that would be, hi, I'm Darnell. When is the GWE update coming out, mate? But no, we don't know yet. My bet would be is because we know about some recent licensing changes. We'll see where it goes. As we still slowly slide into Covina under advice of caution from our dispatcher. So we're being cautious. Bad guy says Harry is hilarious, also gorgeous, has a tendency of talking too much. But that's her thing. That's what she does. Yes. It's a bit horrible generalisation, but generally ADHD people either say nothing for hours on end or they just talk constantly. I've got one upstairs. He does that. You have to like the horn headphones, though. I think she has outdone Matt's cat ears for sure. Dan says, I see Quickies and I'm immediately here. Rail says if the Southwest Chief and Pacific Surfliner can run up to 90 mile an hour and the Acela Express up to 150, Mark trains 90 to 125 over the faster sections. Yep, medium speed trains. You get exactly what I'm talking about. And Acela version 2 will be slightly faster than Acela version 1, but they can't get certified. So they may not run faster when they do run. Iwalichi says the Intercity 125 is one of my favourites. It was the high-speed train of its era. We have them here. They're called the XPT. We also call them the Exploders, because they do. Rails of Illinois says no wonder US trains wobble all over the place when they go over small trestles, even at 70. And it's just lack of maintenance on the track. That's all it is. The track's maintained at a quality of running freight trains between 12 and 40 mile an hour, because that's the speeds most freight trains run at. So that's the level of maintenance on the track. And in Northeast Corridor, which is actually Amtrak's track, for them it's a problem with cash. So they maintain it as best as they can with the money they've got. Paramero says, good evening. It's kind of good morning. We can see it's a lovely sunny day out there. Actually, you can kind of see it. There's a little bit of a halo around my head. That's the sunny day behind me. Bad guy says, true, I do that sometimes. We all do, mate. So I don't see this terrible flooding coming into Covina, but there you go. Is that a little bit of water on the track up there, maybe? Like a tiny bit. Looks like it's a tiny bit. See that noise? What is that noise? Oh, switch to outside camera and we're stuck again. This is good. Yep. Oh, there we go. So is this a little bit of water on the track? Oh, look at that. It's a little bit of water on the track. So this is the incredibly enormous flooding that we have to deal with. It's not even over the top of the rails. It's barely over the top of the sleepers. Yep. Yep. This is some serious flooding right here, folks. This is as bad as it gets. I think the train's moving. Oh yeah, it is. Slowly speeding up too. Look at the bloke taking a selfie. Go, hey, I found a guy at his best. I'm going to take a selfie with him. I think we need a screenshot of this terrible flooding, don't you? Yes, of course we do. In fact, look at that. It's pretty much perfect, except we want to get our depth of field down a bit. Put our focal point back in the right spot. Whee! There we go. That'll do. Have to record the terrible flooding for posterity. Look at that. It's almost getting its brake hose wet. I think I just got hit by a train. Like my own train. Bell. Looks like a trackside worker is always assisting with the flooding. Alright then. We'll go and talk to them. Fine. Yeah. Drive inside. New inspection says the water pipe has burst, resulting in all this flooding. You sure it's not not the rain, mate? Looks like the rain to me. It's been made worse by constant rainfall. We temporarily close the station, looking to put speed restrictions in surrounding areas as soon as possible. Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah. Do you know what? This level of water, no one would even care. No. Not at all. Not at all. Yep, notify them all as soon as possible. But, you know, it's a radio, so they all know now. Yep. Because American dispatch radio is kept in the clear. Did I open the doors at this station? I did, and it's telling me to drive away, but my doors are open. Interesting. Yay, selfie dude. Selfie dude for the win. Has anybody else noticed that every time he takes a shot, he goes... It's like he takes his photos of the inside of his mouth. But anyway, that's fine. It's good to see Celebrate Cat still around. Time is clearly not working on that one. Off to Pomona. Bad guy says, I can do that too sometimes. I will eat you, says Forza Horizon 4 had a Flying Scotsman. Fair enough. She's struggling a little with loading stuff there again. That is the problem with Quickies, is you end up running routes that you haven't run for ages and they disappear. Uberk is going away. Good night, mate. Enjoy your sleep. Hopefully it's good. We shall continue. Iolechu says there are Intercity 125s in Mexico. There are. Oaxaca. Cavs Photography says that was 620 was miles an hour, which is 997.97 kilometers an hour. It's kind of impressive, isn't it, Gav? I wonder how many people they executed when they couldn't reach 1,000 kilometers an hour. Because you know they would have wanted to. It's a bit deep. It's moist. That's what it is. It's moist. It's a good word, moist. Uberk says that amount of water is not problematic for any railroad. This is true. I will eat you, says there's the BR Class 41 prototype HST. Shame only one of them survived. Be nice to have both. Well, in this day of age of making heritage trains because you feel like it, someone could just make it. Don't know why I'm slowing down there. I think we should speed up again. I started slowing down like I was coming into a station, but of course I'm not. So I don't know why I did that. But yeah, it's alright. Brain fade. I will eat you says Trains Simulator 2 has the Bombardier bi-levels in Surfliner. It does. So does Train Sim Classic, and so does Run 8. Oh, it's a quiet zone. Excellent. We'll be quiet then. No honking the horns. I think that was a quiet zone sign I saw back there anyway. We'll just pretend it was. Bad guy says, I know he's throwing an all-night rave. That's possible. Doons, 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 doons. I wonder how Luke is going on his assessment. He should be on the train by now. It's 9:38. Should be just going onto the train in the platform and starting to do the brake examination right about now. I'm firing a trip to Gembrook on this coming Friday, which is one of our new drivers going for their assessment. So I hope he goes well. He's a really, really nice guy, so hope he does well. I shall certainly do my best to do a good fire for him. Uberk says, it is sleep. Sleep is always good. Dan goes, that's evil, but probably true. Just say it. It's like that North Korean warship that was launched, and it basically launched off the dock and fell over. And they said that they had a list of people who have been disciplined. I read that as shot. For embarrassing Kim Jong wanker. Imagine living here with these trains coming through all day and all night doing this. Because no sooner have you finished one, you're into the next one. Oh, that crossing started late. Very late for that crossing. Another late one. Those gates weren't quite down then. See, that noise is the brakes applying, and I just missed a crossing, but that's okay. It's only a little one. No one will know. No one. No one will tell anyone. That noise. What is that? I need to know. Sounds like something running off a belt and the belt is loose and it squeals. I will eat you says there might Intercity 125s in Germany are some been bought by Rail Adventure, which is a German company. Don't know, I haven't seen any floating around, but that doesn't mean much. And YouTube's fairly good at feeding me train stuff. Trains and, oddly, a chess player and a girl with giant boobs who wears short skirts who rides a skateboard. So, I think YouTube's got me quite figured out. But it's mostly trains. We might even keep a little bit of power on going through here. Lord Vectron said the thought of going 1,000 kilometres an hour in a maglev sounds horrifying. Get out of the way, truck! Must be Florida. Gav says I wouldn't want to sit in the train and be squished into the seat. Probably not. Depends how you accelerate. Oh yeah, crossing. Squeezes in the 4. Just in time. Do you know, there's more water here than there was at the station they were excited about. There you go. Bad Guy says, it makes me wonder if keep getting more and more of these licensed train games, at what point are one of those companies going to try and exclusive licenses to some of these trains companies? Who knows? Who knows? Anything could happen, I suppose. Bad Guy had to delete spaces for YouTube. Not sure what that means. Anyway, Gab says I used to live beside a train line hearing horns between 3 a.m. and 5 a.m. Yeah, I was very close to one when I was in the US. We slide into Pomona Station. Get the ding-dong going so we don't run over any ding-dongs. Iolichu says, have you seen the Bluey? It's in Australia just like you. The Bluey's not really targeted at me. I will eat you. Slightly younger audience. But I know what it is. Browser's going to get excited about my stopping point, but I need to do what the scenario wants, mate, not what the signs want. If it was a service train, I could stop back there. And doors open. Beelzebub off. This is the end of this one, isn't it? Yep. And then I'll start the game up again, and let's have a look at... Lord Vectron grew up a train track that was the main line from Newcastle to Brisbane. Pretty busy in the 90s. You get used to it. Average YouTube algorithm gets trains and that chess girl in your YouTube shorts as well. I thought I did unlock the doors. I thought I used Rail Driver to unlock the doors, but clearly that didn't work. Gav said I used the jump, the guardrail, and get videos and photos of trains. Well, why not? For some reason, Asmongold never watched any videos of him about him. No, now I've mentioned him. God, he'll show up in my feed. No, I don't either. The missus does. She watches him. She also watches Hassan. Hassan, who's perpetually angry. Anyway, he likes being perpetually angry. Why am I waiting for this to load the main menu? Because I don't actually care, because we're going to start it again. And we're going to go to Canada. So I'm just waiting for Steam to realize the game has stopped, and we'll start it again, and hopefully we'll have Canada. Hopefully. Anyway. Lord Vector on some reason. Oh, yeah. Actually, interesting you say about jumping the guardrails, Gavs. I was cruising round towards our landslide yesterday, and it's a good thing I was going slowly through the landslide curves, which we do because they are quite tight, because they had to realign the track to avoid the landslide. And I'd slowed right down for them, and this family of deer ran out right in front of the train. It's like, yep, good thing I was going slower. I would have got you. Because, you know, you don't want to be pulling animal bits out of the front of your train at the end of the day. It's just not nice. I will eat you says, what if Train Sim Germany tried to make a non-German route? They have. Austria. Cabana is a sausage, I will eat you. It's a very nice sausage, actually. In fact, I've got some in the fridge. Damn, now you've made me think about having some Cabana. I'm getting very washed out, aren't I? The camera's really struggling with this backlight. That's okay. It'll be fine. Right, let's see what Canada looks like now. Oakville. And it's supposed to have got some new scenarios, apparently. Oh yeah, the Aldershot turn. So these are freight trains when you're moving lots of cars around. So, yeah, that could be something worth having a look at. I'm not sure if any of the other ones are new ones, but I know the Aldershot ones are. But let's have a look at, the Tim table. Toronto commuter, and that's the original one, which is unnamed, weirdly. Oh, look at everything it brings in. Wow. So there's an AC 4400 CW in Canadian livery, and a bi-level cab car in GTX livery. It looks almost like a Flix train. F40PH 2D VR. So it's not quite that, it's just the FP40PH. But it's been made from something else. Look, the number's 000. That's not working. And the VR, another one. And AMT for Amtrak. Good to see. And there's the weird Go Trains thing without the Go on the front. Look at that. That one survived in its own livery. CSX. So did that one. Yeah. It's quite a bit, isn't there? And the GP9. Excellent. I like the GP9. I think we might. What do we get for Amtrak? Oh, yeah. Why don't we run one of these? Why not? We'll even leave dynamic weather on. I think Gav wants Cabana as well. It's making him hungry. So, yeah, look at that. That's what the game needs. Some Amtrak. Yeah, cool. I suppose we should get in and set up and unlock the doors. Oh, it's one of these. Alright, so we can probably just unlock the doors then, because we don't really need to do much with this. Can I put the reverser in? Is it because you're not an idle? Unlock the doors. I want to unlock the doors, but I can't put the reverser in yet. Can I do anything? Yeah, I can do that. Oh, I know why I can't put the reverser in, because the rail drive is centered. Come on. There we go. And we want to cut some brakes in and release them. I'm going to put that into lead and apply. No, apply. There we go. Have some instrument lighting. Wipers. What are you on? Ooh, bright lights. So this would appear to be the version from Boston. I wonder how confused it's going to get. Because none of this shit's going to work. Not on this route. Unless they've done something for it. But who knows? Maybe they have, maybe they haven't. Wait until 8:46. What about its horn? What have they done with that? Ah, they kept the same one. That's a good thing, though. It's Beelzebub. Gotta test everything. Alright, doors closing. Stand clear the closing doors, since we're in America. People have to be told that. And I think what we should do, just to upset people, is every special train we're going to do a screenshot. Because people go, how'd you get that? So we'll just do them quick, so they're not too annoying. Oops. Yes, the speed limit. Speed box, I thought the ATC and access box would get a little confused, but it is. So don't turn on access and ATC on this route. I will eat you was trying to mix the word Canada and banana together. Well, that's strange. Okay, but strange. Bad guy says, steamed cooking venison, anyone? And why do I say Canada so funny? Because I can. Why not? It's a pretty nice horn on this one. Good to have some Amtrak. Clearly an official release. You know what I should do? Is I can, well, if it will let me, make a new thumbnail quickly for the video while we're in flight. There you go. I'm changing what the stream is while we're streaming it. I supposed to stop there? Probably. Didn't tell me to. There we go. I just changed what the stream was while we're watching it. How about that? Iwalichi says these Via Rail and Go Transit liveries are so goofy, but understand why they look because of the licensing. Oh, but I don't think a mod maker would care that much about licensing, but they probably don't want to get in trouble, I suppose. Because you could potentially get taken to task by the owners of the license. Potentially. It's the only kind of honk that road deserves. Lord Vectron says, I love the massive loco and relatively tiny coaches. The viewliners are kind of funny like that. What have we got coming the other way? It's a Go Transit, kinda. That's pretty cool. It looks like Go Transit. Enough that you'd go, that's Go Transit. Got the big yellow here. Son of Lawn Chairs says, the Maple Leaf is a nice ride. But not an efficient way of getting between Toronto and New York. I don't doubt that, but you know, it's like the trains to Sydney. It's not an efficient way to get there, but people use it. I used to use it because I used to take it overnight. I'd catch the train after my normal work day in Melbourne and I would head up to Sydney for our Sydney offices, and I'd travel on the train overnight in a sleeper, have a nice breakfast, have a shower on the train, and then go to work, and then do it again to come home. It's good. I will eat, she says, I've done the Via Rail livery on the ICET from Frankfurt Fulda and drove it on Oakville through off the rails. Fair enough. This is a person who's made a whole timetable and a whole pack. Well, several packs, actually. I should put a link into it, really, because it's... Pop that in the chat. In fact, I should really put that link into the video description too, shouldn't I? There you go, I've popped it in the video description, so if someone sees this later and thinks, where did that come from? Now they'll know. This is only a go via, but I'm being nice because of the signals, so I had to slow it down a little bit. It is kind of funny how small view lighters are, but I like Bakerloo trains. Beetle. Stop at Aldershot. We're still under a caution because we had a yellow on the last signal, so to be a little bit careful. It's the world's coldest tea. I will eat you says, how about an AC 4400 CW pulling Mark IIs? Well, you certainly could do it. And I will eat you wants to know if there's Go Transit, where's Stop Transit? No, only if they go on strike. Gratuitous bridge shot coming up with a freeway. Whoops, whoops, whoops. Oh, there we go. Wow. Imagine if you were driving a little bit drunk and you just ran into one of those light poles. Because they have no protection at all. Welcome, Mustang alike. Son of Lawn Chairs says, I bet the Maple Leaf would get much better ridership if it were a night train with sleepers, but it isn't. Is it scenic at all? Rails wants the bell. And he says, EXOs, previously AMT F40s, never wore the 1300 series, and those are applied to their F59 PHIs. Don't get too excited. Amy says, hey all, happy Pride Month. Indeed, recognising those of our community who have pride. Is that worldwide? I haven't heard anything for it here. We're on our 5-year mission, Amtraking throughout the universe. Watch out for Klingons. Son of Lawn Chair says the scenery through New York State is okay, but doesn't compare to the routes in western US, Canada. Yeah, the ones that go through the Rockies are actually quite impressive. I Will Eat You says Thomas and Friends has a character that is a steam train with water cannons fitted on her side named Belle. Well, we have a cab hose in the steam train, which you can hose people with boiling hot water out of the boiler. It's not actually out of the boiler, it's water heated by the injector, but it's heated by steam out of the boiler. Do we only go to Aldershot on this one? Probably. Yep. I don't think the mod maker did anything to the route itself, but Oakville's always been kind of okay on the scenery front. It was just missing passenger trains, and now it's not. So what we'll do is we'll keep alternating. After this run, we'll do another quickie and do a half-hour one, and then we'll come back and maybe run a Go Transit on here. Does that sound fair? And Rails is going to want the bells, so, you know, we shall Beelzebub through the station. Even though this is Canada, and I don't know if they do Beelzebub. No people to Beelzebub for anyway. I wonder why we had a yellow before. I wonder if that GO train crossed our path. Seems strange to have a yellow there. Oh, Mr. Gratuitous Bridge Shot. Whatever will people say? Mr. Floating School Bus too, I don't know if you saw that. And we can see a distant yellow up there. Distant as in it's a long way from my cab. As distinct from the person who got confused last time I said distant. What have we got sitting in the yard over here? This could be worth another screenshot just to get people confused, couldn't it? There we go. Just quickly do that. Whack. Save and upload. Because, you know, that looks cool. It's a long trade too. Nice. I think there might have been an AC 4400 hiding on the other side of that train. I could hear one for a little while. That is the one downside of the Cobra mod. You saw me whack the bell button then and it did nothing. You have to push the buttons and hold them for briefly. It's part of its way of managing stupid things happening. Reminds me, I must talk to Matt and see if I can coax him into approaching Cobra, because I know they know them. And see if we can get the mod incorporated as part of the game. Because I think that would be a quick win for Dovetail to negotiate something with Cobra to include this mod for PC players. Did it unlock the doors? No, that's clearly not mapped that way with the Cobra mod. In fact, my button hasn't unlocked the doors either. Interesting. What about this one? Go it this way. That's the fun thing about mods, is they don't always work. It's got Wi-Fi. Also screenshot worthy. Definitely. Right, let's do another quickie and then we'll come back and do something else in Oakville. Just keep the mix going. Randomly, sort of. Because we can. Son of Lawn Chair says it would be nice if someone built a P42. That's the correct loco for this and many other Amtrak routes. It's been quite a common request. So hopefully DTG will do it. We've also got High Iron now building US content. So there's always some potential for High Iron to do something with Amtrak. It would be really cool, I think, to do... Yeah. We're in a scab car. Okay. And throttle idle. To cut that in. Yep. We open the doors, I think. Yeah, it works. Oh yeah, we can turn on stuff up here, don't we? Safety systems? Where are safety systems on this one? Oh, it's just... Where are safety systems in this thing? They're out here, maybe. Ah, there we go. Right. Lots of people. Good to see. Sorry, I didn't quite manage to mute that. I think it might be time for a lozenge. Doors. We're in this thing. Pink. And it's a cab car. Great on it. All right, let's go then. That one, forwards. Lights. I don't really need wipers, I don't think. Brakes off. Brakes are releasing. Good. Ooh, works. Off to Ruggles. Sounds like something from Harry Potter, doesn't it? Ruggles. I love this cough. Oh, am I supposed to be slowing down or something? Probably. I wasn't watching the box up there, was I? I have to do 20. Right. I remember now, you've got to keep watching up there. Up the top. That's okay. Yes. Son of launch. Adrian says... I think your weather is a lot better than my weather in my scenario. Should be the same. Son of launch says time for the P-42s to be retired. Yeah, definitely. I actually think it'd be really cool to get the P-42 and the proper Amtrak cars, because you could layer those into every single North American freight route, because they all have Amtrak running in them. Some of them even have stations models. So, you know, you could bring in a whole lot of gameplay with one release. Or, well, of course, you've got to change all the routes to accept them. Fries are ready. Rail says, actually speaking of the P-42 DC, Spacey Cat's making a P-42 DC for the game. That's cool. I don't know who Spacey Cat is, but fair enough. Son of Lawn Chair says it's good news indeed. Rails says get out of the cab. And Son of Lawn Chair's the broken Ruston beige car with the one with gauges that don't update. as in all of these gauges. They seem to do things. If I put the brakes on, that does stuff. They both work. Fries are ready. The speedo's working. Oh, we can speed up to 90. Let's rock then. Go the full push. Poor Diesel up the back's probably slipping away now. Let's go have a look. There he is. He hasn't got tail lights on. Naughty Diesel. I could go back there and pretend to care, but I won't. The ADU is or was bugged. Stare at the box for a while as you accelerate, and it wouldn't change until you left the cab camera and came back. Oh, interesting. I can see it is still saying 30 and we're up to 44, so yeah. And in fact, we are restricted at 45. That's a bit sad, isn't it? I should take a little snippy of that. And just drop that into, oops. Just quickly whiz out of here, actually. Stay in here because the alert is about to go off. And just pop over to the Ambassador Discord and put in there we go. I've dropped a report in for that. It's a bit sad, isn't it? Because you really need that thing to run the safety systems. And I suppose you've got the workaround of going out and coming back, but that's going to be a bit annoying. As we make our way to Ruggles in this very quiet cab car. Does it make the sounds when it's supposed to change at least? Yeah, it looks like it does. So if you come back, yeah. If people are wondering why I say fries are ready when it makes that noise, that's the noise that the McDonald's fry cooker makes when it's ready to have the fries removed. And we're probably about to get stomped for speed since we have the flashing yellow there. Acknowledge that, come back and do a suppression. And that should be plenty. That's really annoying, actually. Really annoying. Need a bit less wipey than that. It's only a tiny bit of snow. Adrian says, it's pouring in my world, at least you got snow. Yeah. It is certainly annoying, I'll give you that. Son of Lawn Chair says it's been a bug for a while. Makes services in this direction unplayable with access enabled. I should actually add that word. I've just put a comment in that says this bug makes services unplayable with safety systems enabled, which means players cannot score maximum possible points and risk running into the train ahead, as the ADU should slow them down. It's good to put, when you report a bug, in context of why it's important. Now approaching Ruggles. How far are we going with this one? Ruggles and then Boston Back Bay. And then Boston South. Fair enough. Son of Lawn Chair says the HUD works fine if you use it, but that's no fun. Yeah. As a user of the minimal HUD, I agree. Because you have to keep doing that. Whack 2, whack 1. It's a bit sad, isn't it? When we go back to Oakville after this one, should we run freight or a GO Transit? What do people want? Better go into suppression for briefly. There we go. We're all good. It's like the umbrella salute. Hey. No one's getting in. Off we go to Boston. I'm only allowed to do 30, so we'll have to keep an eye on that. I just realised I've only got top chat turned on, not live chat. I might have missed some of your messages. Hopefully not. Quiet, we're doing it. Relax. We must be following something. Trade in that station, I'm guessing. So would you like, when we go back to Canada after this, would you like freight or would you like Go Transit? If I don't hear any preferences, I'll just flip a coin. As we slide our way into Boston Back Bay, we have one vote for Go Transit for I Will Eat You. 2 for Go, 3 for Go, 4 for Go. 5 for Go. Go clearly popular. Amy freights, you just whack in some power and leave it. No, it depends on the freight. Some you do. Go home past going up to you certainly do that. Just put it in run 8 and go away and have lunch, a couple of beers, come back, maybe it's got to the top of the hill. I think just looks like everybody wants to go. Welcome to Boston Back Bay. Overshot our stop marker, but whatever. I'm not doing that. Sorry, Rails. Loading, loading, loading. It's bin cam. Actually, if I sit on top of the bin, I shouldn't get hit by any passengers when we're doing the departure camera. Nightbot woke up. Let's try a 3, might be better. On the excruciatingly high speed curves round to Boston South. if I push celebratory cats button? Nothing about that one. Oh, it gets overwritten. And then he's back. Okay. Celebrate cat seems to be stuck. See if I can coax celebrate cat to go away. And it's back. And gone. Excellent. We can have that cat instead. Seems necessary. This is the true high-speed running. It says we're allowed to do 20, but, yeah. Better get some power on, or we're not going to go very far. How about you stay in throttle 2 where I put you? Right, 3 then. See if I can. That train we can see up there is consuming our path at the moment, I think. So now that it's out of the way, or getting out of the way, hopefully our red signal around the corner will go green and we'll be right. Going round the loop. Oh dear, we are. Why wouldn't we go directly? Well, that's unusual. How weird. Because the station we want to go to is just, you know, where we're looking right now. Where's it actually going? It's going to go all the way around the loop, isn't it? That's just entirely mental. Where's it doing that? And you know something? We're just going to quickly race out here. And we're going to not turn off the alert. No. Where is it? We're going to turn that off because we're not doing 5 miles an hour and taking 30 minutes to get round here. We're just not. because it takes ages to get around here and it'll be boring as hell. Me and you. So we're going to forget about the ADU. What if it updates now? Wouldn't that be funny? No, it doesn't. Because this 5 mile an hour thing, not happening. Not that any of us are here to see this, no. No, definitely not. That would be all different shades of wrong. Although we do have red signals coming up. They'll be the ones around under the bridge, just up here. Amy says, what about people who wanted freight? They'll survive. They didn't say anything. If we get stuck at the red, we'll just stop this service at that point and go back to Canada. Where's contact signaler on this one? Is it that one? No. More. So what's in the way? How long are we going to get stuck here? Now we're waiting for that. And that one's waiting for that one. Wow, there's a big wait fest going on here. Got a yellow. Until the next signal, which is like 3 meters away, I think. Will this one change? Yep. Hello, Ute. Reckon we can just couple up to this one? Get out of the way. Go around. I will eat you said family friendly gamer did a Flixtrain livery on the ACS 64 and it looks interesting. He does all sorts of weird stuff, that guy. He promotes himself as family friendly gamer as though the rest of us aren't. It's interesting. No, still on path. We just got yellows most of the way in. We'll be going into a different platform than that one. Yeah, looks like we just got our road into the platform. Guess we've got yellows all the way in now. Oh no, one more red one. It was yellow. And you can't tell me that train in front of us is still doing 5 miles an hour either. It's disappeared. So even the AI get bored. I will eat you said family. It's these funny cursed liveries of Flying Scotsman in BNSF and MBTA liveries. Like I said, he's a weird one. Do you think the ADU wants my attention? Sounds like it. We're almost at the point where we were before. Before we got sent round the silly loop. I will eat you says family friendly gamer. That's what I thought you meant. Walls from Gav. We are actually going to get into the platform now. Our last signal has gone yellow. So we'll stick with this. I will eat you likes the TSW5 weather. I tend to think the transitions are a little quick. The individual types of weather are okay, but they should transition slower. Not just go click, fogs on, click, fogs off. I'm just looking at my hands going, you can certainly tell I fired steam engines yesterday. That's clean. The joys of carbon. Gab says Bakerloo line, American style. You imagine a Bakerloo train next to something like an ES44? Be like this big. Like an ant.
Here's what a real train driver would do. You'd sneak up behind some people and do this. Just because you could. The Arosa ones aren't that small, I believe you. Not as small as Bakerloo. Alright, let's get the doors open. There's tail lights here somewhere, isn't there? I thought there was a tail light button somewhere. Or a switch or something. Is it that one? No. What does that actually do? You can turn it on and off from there. Fair enough. I didn't know you could do that. Lock the doors. Can't see the tail light button anywhere, but that's okay. Let's see how you did. No one actually cares. Oh, this must have been a scenario. Amy, the RHB stuff has a small track gauge, but it's pretty normal train size. Yeah, they are. The AC 4400, of course, isn't. It's huge. All right, go transit. Here we go. There's lots of similarity between the different cars in the US because they're nearly all made by either Budd, if they're historic, or Bombardier, or these days Alstom. To the trains, choose a route. Oakville. Oakville, new and shiny. Let's do something with the GP9. Why not? Yeah, 9:30 in the morning. Sounds all right. Switching. Operate a westbound local freight. Switching. We'll do a westbound local freight. We'll do an evening one. That sounds like a good idea. And we will just go for some light clouds. There we go. Gab said, I was train spotting on the Bakerloo line and made the whole line grind to a halt. Ooh, that's naughty. I wanted to ride Bakerloo when I was there last time, but I could not. Ditch lights. Engine run, gen. Gauge lights. Let's get the reverser in. No, apparently it is in. No, it's not. I want to put it in. There we go. Right. Headlights. Stop at the Oakville yard track. Fair enough. What did the GP9 used to run in? Was it Oakville? No, freight. Freight. Where's the other one? Oh, let's put some class lights on. No, they're rear class lights. They're no good. Fine. There must be a valve here somewhere that I can't see. There it is. Oh, it was already in lead. Fair. Okay. So we're in this little beastie here. throttle wasn't working, but it clearly is. The back one's powering anyway. Front one's not. I think they're having a fight. I think this one must have a brake on or something. It doesn't say it does. Ah, is it charging the train maybe? Maybe it's one of those boring ones that started with the train pumped to zero or something. Because that is telling me we have airflow, isn't it? What if we go to the back? Do we have a thread that tells us what the pressure is? Oh no, 83. That should be okay to release. Let's try that again then. Let's try a small application. And release that. Alright, let's try that again. Genfield, says Amy. That's possible, but the back one was pushing. No, Genfield's on. I think this time it's going to go. Yeah. Off we go. Let's have a green one. No idea what the class lights mean, but green and red sounds good. Someone will be raging at their screen right now. That's really wrong. I suspect we were just pumping up the brakes before because this is now sitting on zero with the black one. So I think that's all that was happening probably. We were going to do Go Transit, weren't we? Ah, I screwed that up. Sorry. I was going to do Go Transit. What am I doing in freight? Do you want me to change, or do you want to stick with this? Amy says Alston rebranding everything modernish into the Avelia brand is annoying. And if you're doing Bakerloo, standing at the end of the platform at Queen's Park is mesmerising with the depot moves and perfect timing between LO and LU trains. I could possibly go and do that for real, you know. Why did I pick a freight? We've got one for change now, one with stay with this. If we stay with this, we'll do Go Transit straight after. And then as that most will take 15 minutes or so. I don't know why I chose freight. Because I came in here going, yeah, we're doing Go Transit. And then I chose freight because I saw the GP9 and I thought, oh well. Oh well. Flip a coin, says Amy. Flip a coin's a good way to do it. We've got tails and heads. Oh, that's one of the useless ones. Got heads on both sides. Sorry. Platypus or heads. And it is heads. We will stay with it. And then we'll do Go Transit. Sorry. Tell you what, I'll make it quicker. This other coin I've got, I don't know if you're able to see it or not, but that one's got heads on that side, but it's also got heads on that side. It's weird. Get down there and down there. Come on, let me down there. So we can see the thing snaking out of the yard. Because that always looks cool. Amy says tonnage first, safety last. Yeah, that's about it. Spoken like a true accountant there, Amy. That's a lot of auto racks. Ah, let's go full beans. Other beans. All the beans. It's making powering noises, but it went back to 0 power for a moment there. It's probably the transition moment. Big bright signals. It's just a phrase, I will eat you. What is that noise? Oh, it's that. The substations make noise. How about that? Who knew? Who knew? One of the fun things after firing is all your buggered up muscles that you need to stretch. There you go. There's your go transit. Just over there. He's going the other way with a cab car. Oh, you were joking, I will eat you. Could never tell with you. So we're basically going from that yard there to that yard there. Kind of as a pointless maneuver, but alright. I'm kind of thinking that I want to have lunch since you lot planted cabana in my head. What I think I'll need to do is fry up some cabana and a couple of eggs and some toast for lunch. I think that's a good idea. Feels like a good idea. I wonder if I can make my camera any better. It's looking a bit shit with the really bright light, isn't it? What can I add in the way of filters? No, none of those. I can apply a LUT. Chroma keys. I don't think I've actually got any LUTs. No, I don't. So I can't do much with that. that'll be a background thing. Can't do much with that. If I go in here and go configure video, can I do auto brightness? No. It's boring. There we go. Oh, I think I just undid it, didn't I? Come on. There we go. Apply. Good. That looks better, doesn't it? Good. Like Will Eat You says, Oakville does have Go Transit ticket machines. It does. Filters? You need the cat ears. Not that kind of filter. I don't have that kind of filter. We'll ignore that I'm only allowed to be doing 60 mile an hour and we're doing 62. It's fine. These aren't the droids you're looking for. Yeah, I have skin tone again. How about that? And you can probably see the dirt on my hands much better. Oh, look at that. Yeah, it seems better. Yeah, those are fireman's hands. Yeah. One of my fellow trained people who fires and drives, he's a doctor. And he has to wear gloves at his surgery so that people can't see how filthy his hands are. Because there's no getting this crap off, really. It just sort of disappears over a week or so. "7 miles to Jokeville Yard. You like Shrek? Fair enough." Apparently there is an OBS plugin that turns you into a cat. But I can't find one that just gives you cat ears. I Will Eat You says Richie Rails has the same first name as Dr. Richard Beacon. He doesn't, because his name's Richie, not Richard. Richie isn't short for Richard. Maybe it's time I updated my camera. I've had this one for years. Maybe I need a better one. One that actually automatically adjusts. Actually, I had one that automatically adjusts, and I gave it to my other half because it insists on installing this horrible piece of maintenance software just to use the camera. It takes up like a gig of RAM. It's like, what for? Three miles to Oakville Yard. We're only doing 80 miles an hour, so it's fine. That was a bit quick. Flying through the crossovers at 80 miles an hour. Perfect. Might want a bit more of a reduction, I think. Yeah, about there will be fine. That's bringing the speed down pretty well. Not well enough, because we're going to hit the crossovers into the yard at probably still about 30 mile an hour maybe, instead of 15, but that's okay. It's fine. Alright. Let's knock the brakes off, because it'll take a while for them to pump back up. It's nice to see an airflow meter that actually works. Lots of the locos in the game have airflow meters, and they do not work. Amy says, where's our resident Arch user to complain about bloat when you need him? That's a good question. That is a very good question. I could always send him a DM on Discord and go, where are you? We're bloating. We can't handle it without you. He was here a little while ago. I guess he's dropped off. I know he's been having some internet troubles this week, so maybe he's just fallen off the internet again. Are there any manual points in this yard that we have to go and set, or are they set for us already? Looks like they're all set. I'll just go straight in. You are here. It's good that you enjoy Richie. I agree, he's quite good. He's quite funny. Oh, I think that needs a screenshot. Yeah, just like that. Perfect. Lord Vectron has fixed the network issues, had a hardware failure. I did see something about your NIC being buggered. I Will Eat You says, I remember when I was hostile to TSW5. Yes, so do I. You shouldn't have been. You're glad you changed now. So what do you think the summer release is going to bring? What do we think? Is it TSW6 with 3 routes, 1 German, 1 British and 1 American? Or what? Or do you think it'll just be a route package this year? So you can certainly tell there's something coming because the roadmap's kind of empty. So they don't really want to tell us what they're doing. They want it to be a surprise. Which I'm cool with because we've had a few years when it wasn't a surprise. And I think that was disappointing for people, really. You can be hostile if you want to, I will eat you. I don't mind. See, each person's idea and thoughts and wishes and wants and needs for a game are different. And they're all perfectly valid to that person. There's nothing wrong with having them. And I'm quite happy for people to talk about stuff too. And we're ready for some Go Transit. I think this timetable's a bit of a winner so far, to be honest with you. Quite liking this. Lord Vectron says I bought a new Unify switch as well, installed that yesterday and waiting for some patch cables to tidy up. I have a big box of patch cables because I figured I always never have the length I want, so I just bought a whole lot of them so that I always have the length I want. It's been quite a game changer, to be honest, to just have them. The only thing I do need to find, though, I need to find a source for armoured Ethernet cables when they're not $1 million each, because I need to run new cables to my security cameras because mice keep eating them. Which is, of course, a little bit of a bummer. Oh, we're definitely going to do Go. I won't screw it up again and pick a freight, even though I'd said 30 seconds before we'd do Go Transit. Oh, done. Sliver? Only a sliver? Probably because of all the speeding. I lost 2,242.5 points for speeding. Excellent. Love it. Return to timetable. Lord Vectron says, I binned my old Ethernet cables months ago, just bought some new 1, 2 and 3 meter lengths. Yeah, I used to make my own, but they're so cheap now. Why would you bother? Oh, went back into that part of the timetable. So, Go Transit. Let's do one where we're driving something rather than a cab car. So we'll do one of these. And we'll do one at a time when it'll actually be visible. West Harbour to Union Station, 6:06 in the morning. Sounds good. June should be okay because it's summer. Go for light clouds again so we can see what's going on. Maybe just a touch of fog. That'd be weird. Yeah, probably would be. That's okay. I may have to make my own Ethernet armoured cables because I could basically get a box of cable for what, 3 30-meter cables costs. It's crazy. Unlock doors. What side? Left side. And we better set this thing up. So get that into the middle, put the lever in, get it to forwards, get that to passenger, release, apply the independent. Headlights. We'll go with dimmers. And there's switches up here somewhere, isn't there? These things should all be on. Silly that they're off. Marker lights, gauge lights. That's it, I think. That's it. So what have we got? We've got a goo. It's more like an ooh transit. And since we have to wait a minute anyway, I'll be back. Why have we got red lights on? That's better. I made myself hungry. Double circle transit. Yeah, that's about it. Vectron says I built Cat 6 with the plastic divider cable destroyed my fingers and made a batch, so never again. Yes, they are a pain in the bum. Run it through conduit. I could do that. I shall mute while I munch chips. No. There. That'll do. Done. Do it. Can hear our dying vacuum cleaner running upstairs. I saw you asking Chair for the secrets, but I'm back now. It's too late. Paramero's back from dinner. What did you have? I can see in the video feed that it's a bit juddery, but in person it's smooth as. I may have to look into that. OBS is doing something weird, I think. Now I'm running at 60 FPS, which is what OBS is set to. At least it should be. Let me just check and make sure. Stream. Output. Streaming. One audio track. I may have to have a play with that later. There's not much I can change when it's running. But that looked a bit weird. Says he's speeding as usual. It's very quiet in this train, isn't it? I might turn it up a little bit for both of us. Another gratuitous bridge shot. We need to go over here because we missed the bridges on bridges on bridges. And right about there should be fine. Go. I don't think it's struggling for GPU load, Vectron, because I'm running a 4080, which has 2 video processors in it anyway. So that should be fine. I was stupidly looking at 5080s the other day, and then I thought, why am I doing this? I don't really need one. Yeah, this is for Oakville. Let me just grab your link to the mod. I popped it into the description of the video as well. Just pop it in here. That's the actual mod. And I have slowed down too much, clearly. Is that a road? It doesn't have a crossing. We'll honk at our mates on the ground there, because we can. Chairs do love giving away secrets. Paramara had some pasta salad and vegetables. Cool. And Lord Vectron goes, yeah, you need a 5080. Let me get people the Australian prices for a 5080. So a 5080 with only 16 gig of RAM, which is nowhere near enough, is 2,000, and that's from a shit brand. Where's one with a decent amount of memory? It's like nearly everybody's running 16 gig, and that's just not enough. I've got 24 gig in this card, and sometimes run into limitations. $5090 32 gig Supreme water cooled 6799 Australian dollars. It actually looks like all the 5080s are only 16 gig. It's completely pointless. It's just nowhere near enough memory. Maybe the 5080 doesn't have two encoders anymore. Yep. Stop looking at 5090s. Clearly they do want to upsell the 5090. It looks like we're out of that 15 zone now, so let's get up to some more power. What's really annoying is they got rid of SLI, because you could have bought yourself two of the 5080s and run them side by side, and then it would have been fine, but they don't do SLI anymore. So yeah, you got to buy the 5090. There are 5090s that are cheaper. So if I look that up again, I'm just looking it up from my local shop. $5090s, there are... The cheapest is $5699. but they're not brands I'd buy. Things like Zota or Zotac and Pallet, I just don't buy their shit. From brands I would buy, there's MSI Vanguard 6000, MSI Supreme 6799, Supreme Liquid. Well, that's actually cheaper. The Supreme Liquid is 6299. That's just ridiculous money. It's crazy. It's not happening. It's just not. Ooh, we're supposed to be stopping. Maximum brakes, emergency brakes, dump all the air. Bing bong the bell as though we're doing nothing strange. Oh no, we're coming up to a red. 5080s, 5090s, this is your fault. Oh god, it stopped applying air too. That's a bug. There is not a chance in hell that after you dump all the air brakes would change, because what's charging them? Nothing. Somehow we managed to do that. I'm not quite sure how. Might take a little while to pump the train up, but we managed it. Lord Vectron says SLI was a butt for gaming. I had SLI 1080s, neither worked or wouldn't. Yeah, sometimes it was good. SLI was, or the concept anyway, was first introduced with the Voodoos. And I remember in the era of Duke and the first version of Unreal and Quake and things like that, where I used to SLI 4 of them together. That was awesome. Wasn't that the compressor run? I think I've still got my original Voodoo cards, actually. I think I've got them in a box somewhere. I should get them out now and laugh at them. There's another good screenshot for it, isn't it? Another good screenshot to make people go, what's this he's playing? Free pubs for the mod. Lord Vectron says NVIDIA are absolute worst, but it's sad that anyone's capable of high-end capable hardware. It is true. They do take us for a little bit of a ride on the pricing, I have to say. It doesn't cost that much to develop a chipset that you need to sell them that high. True passenger style, ramp it up. Ferramero says $6,000 for a GPU is insane. It's nearly $7,000 for a good one. Lord Vectron says replace them with a 1080 Ti and the issues disappeared. And having dual Radeon 6950s and a Crossfire in the day, that was peak gaming. Yeah, it was quite good. You had to have a motherboard that could do it though. Not all the motherboards could actually do Crossfire. One's hiding over here in this yard. Oh, that's the service we ran, isn't it? Got something coming up on our left as well. Let's go have a look. Let's go see what it is. That's some 44s. That's a pretty serious train. Vectron was gaming in 1440p before most people had 1080p. Yeah. I remember those days. It's like now with my giant 5K widescreen. I just bumped the camera for the rail driver a little. Hello. This probably has us doing a track change, would be my guess. It's interesting the lengths that we used to go to get good gaming, and now it's quite commonplace. There's laptops that run things awesomely well. Oh, look at that. They've got another loco on the back. Was that 9 locos on that train, wasn't it? Loco. Paramura says, do you know how to get rid of the train speed on the HUD and just have the speed limit? Yes. Settings. HUD gameplay. It is... speed limit HUD. Turn that one off. So this one here. It is quite cheap to do high-end gaming, or relatively cheap. I agree with that term. Relatively cheap, that's a good term, compared to what it used to be. But there's still a bit of a barrier to it. And there's an amazing number of people, based on the questions I get on my channel and what I see in other places, where they say things like, I've got a high-end computer, and why doesn't this game work well for me? And they're running something like a 970. Or a 1080 or something like that, and they think they've got a really good computer, and they think that, you know, they're running an i3, and they've got bugger all RAM, and they've got a spinning rust disk, and they think they've got a high-end gaming computer because, and you know, it might only be a couple of years old too, because some twat computer store sold it to them as a high-end gaming computer, and they got conned. It happens so much. Even looking at a fellow streamer who was streaming on console and he wanted to move over to PC for some things. And he got absolutely done. He got sold a machine that had incompatible hardware. Intel CPU with an AMD motherboard. It's like, how was that ever going to work? Gonna let me get away with 55 yards? It is lovely. Good. Lord Vectron says, I hate that it used to be relatively cheap to do high-end gaming. These days it's cheaper to buy a car than a high-end gaming PC. If it's a true high-end gaming PC, yes. Dual Crossfire PC cost me under $2,500 in 2011 money. I reckon you could build a pretty good machine now for that money. But you'll have an older generation card. You'll be in the 30s, or maybe in the... You might actually get in the 40s now. Now that 50s have started to come out a lot, the 40s are getting cheaper again. Off we go to Applebee's. What are we going to have? some poutine fries, maybe? Yeah, indeed, people do get offended when you tell them their computer's crap. And that the part isn't that expensive. Yes, they do. I had one guy that was getting 8 frames per second in Train Sim World, and it was all Train Sim's World's fault. Because it was fine in Train Sim Classic. Well, yes, Train Sim Classic isn't actually very demanding of your computer. Train Sim World is. I think that particular guy had a fairly decent CPU. It was about the 10,000 range on an i7, but his GPU was very old. And since Train Sim Classic is almost an entirely CPU game, with very little GPU, you can run almost no GPU and it's still fine. Even integrated graphics, it's often fine. Here's our yellow signal. We can finally see it. Paramara says that must not have been the setting because it still shows my current train speed next to limit. I was pretty sure it was that one. Let me just turn it on. So if I turn that one on, next speed limit HUD on. No, it didn't. Okay, it's not that one. Let's turn that one off. Objective stop, scenario, next speed limit, next signal aspect, next speed limit, HUD. I was sure it was that one. Let's just apply that and go into the general menu. Is it in here? No. Accessibility menu. Speedo HUD size, default movement. Show current speed. There you go. Sorry. In the accessibility menu, it'll be this one. So if I turn that on. Yeah, there we go. So let me get rid of that again because I hate it. And I'll forget where it is. Set that back to hide. Apply. And out again. There we go. Oops. $2.6 to apples. Lord Vectron said, in my Crossfire PC I had this weird issue with TSC at 1440p. The frame rate was high, but the game was slow. Yeah, it gets into these... I've seen that too. It gets into a very weird situation where it starts waiting for a GPU, but it hasn't actually asked the GPU to do anything. It's quite weird when that happens. We're still under yellow signal, which is why I'm only driving at 45 or so, if you're wondering. 47. I don't think we should be under a yellow signal. I suspect the signalling's not coping with the timetable, but we'll obey it. Lord Vectron says the in-game the clock was literally running at 50% of VRL speed, so the scenarios took twice as long. Yeah, it's a tick-based game, so if your ticks are slow, and that was the symptom of when it was waiting for the GPU, even though it hadn't asked it to do anything, and then it would time out, it would keep going. And you dropped it to 1080p. Ferramero says, oh, gotcha, thanks, been wondering the last few streams I've been watching. No, it's cool, it's good to ask things like that. Anything that can help people a bit. We have another go going the other way. Going both ways on the goes. Ooh, double goes. That'd be a go-go. A go-go train. Just something like a go-go dancer. Prime Mover Railfan Production says Oakville is a disappointing route without mods. Yeah, it is kind of. But it's very old too. It's, what is it, 5 years old now? I think. So it's kind of the old standard. At its time, this was state of the art. But yeah, it's showing its age now. But even so, it's still pretty reasonable now. And with this timetable, it gives it quite an injection of life. And Prime Mover says, also, I wish that DTG would have moved the sounds from the Metrolink MP36 to the Caltrain MP36 had they not lost the license. Let me just get some brakes on for this station that's coming up, because I kind of think that there might be a sound mod for the MP36, I think. Not 100% on that. Yeah, there is. Oh, it's a horn mod. That's boring. Thought there was an MP36 mod. And it was MP36. No, I thought there was another one. I think I've seen a sound mod for the MP36 somewhere, but it looks like it's not on Train Sim Community. So have a bit of a hunt around and see what you can find. Ferramoro says, I've never played this route with the enhanced timetable mod. Might be time to dust the route off and try it with the mod. Oh yeah, go for it. That's a bit of a heavy application there. Good enough. All right, let's just gonna Google that. Because I'm sure I've seen one. Horn and bell, B36 replacement sounds. There's a guy that's working. I'm sure I've actually seen one somewhere. I can't find it now. He did use Searchlight Simulation sounds, so it's quite possible they issued a cease and desist. This is possible. Where are our little council worker friends? There they are. No, I don't want to get behind the council worker people. That's just one of it. Prime Mover says the few routes that have held up from TSW 2020 and TSW2 are the Caltrain route, Boston Sprinter, Sherman Hill, and Harlem. Wasn't Brighton Mainline a TSW2? Rush hour? That one I think's held up pretty well. Mind you, you're thinking of American stuff. Rail says they are. Irileachy says the reason I like Oakville subdivision is because it's Canada instead of the US, UK and Germany. It's got some nice scenery and the lighting is pretty to me. There's, I think, 13 countries in the game now. Prime Mover says if nobody makes a mod for the CT MP36 with ML sounds, I'll make one. Oh, fair enough. Yeah, grab the sounds from this one and put it on the other one, which you should be able to do by unpacking the pack files in the editor. I think they're encrypted, but see how you go. Yeah, because I think that the other person might have come to grief by using the sounds from Searchlight. Ferramaro, yes, the TSW4 install is the one for TSW5. Generally speaking, TSW3 mods don't work in 5, but 4 mods work in 4 and 5. They changed the file structure between 3 and 4. They went for encrypted pack files, encrypted and compressed. Which in theory, it was supposed to make things quicker, but also more secure and harder to hack. And harder to get the contents out of. Just saying. But the decryption key is in the game. Just saying. Rails has some videos of MP36s. And there's 3 files you have to put in. There's the timetable, there's the stations, which sets all the stopping points. When we're honking for a crossing doesn't even have lights and bells. And there's the one for the liveries. And of course you need to own all the content for where the trains come from, like Boston and Caltrain and various others. Actually, it may not be the Caltrain MP36, thinking about it. It might be the other one. The good one. In fact, yeah, it probably is. Do we need that one? Of course we do. I got it a bit late. No locos, but that's okay. Next stop is Bronte. Rails has some videos of MP36s. Lord Vectron says encrypted and compressed never means quicker because the resources are spent decrypting and decompressing it. Compressing can help because it takes away the vagaries of the Windows file system to some extent. But agree on the encryption front. No, I don't think they were, Lord Vectron. They're still the same format. I think the only format of any asset files that changed was on Xbox. They went from WAV to OGG. Bronte. Which, if you follow British TV series, is the name of a particularly naughty young girl. But I was never here. I forgot the Beelzebub. Terrible. A lot of people getting in and off. No? I imagine that's quite true. Of course you protect your assets to stop people pinching them.
The doors are about to close.
Next stop is Oakville. That's the last one for this one, isn't it? Wow, this train's been going forever. No wonder I'm hungry. I have a built-in friend. Look at that. You can only just tell it's two-tone there, I will eat you. Just in the right light. You can see the bottom's darker than the top. I'm just going to ignore the yellow signal. Gab says we have 9 countries we have done for TSW involving Japan when that comes. No, I thought there was more. To write them down now. Managed to pull 8 out of my head. So you've got one extra one including Japan, so that could be right. Yeah. I thought it was more, but probably not. I think you're correct. Here we come, coming into our final stop of Oakville in Canada. Let's try and not make this an overrun. You need a Shinkansen route. I'm never too sure about Shinkansens from my perspective. I think they'd suit the people that like a long haul point to point for sure. But from my perspective, Because with that kind of thing, it's going to be like the TGV. You're really only going to have 2 stops or 3 stops. I reckon this mod's a winner. I quite like it. Might have to go into Transom Community and give it a thumbs up or whatever you do over there. There you go. Arriving into Jokeville. And there's another good shot, just to show how busy it is. Because that's a good indicator of busyness, isn't it? Go. Unlock the doors. This will be the last thing for today's stream as well, since it has gone quite late. And I do need to go and do a couple of things. Like wash my steam clothes from yesterday and get them out in the sun so they dry. Because they are filthy. Like me. Yeah, Gav says USA, UK, Germany, Switzerland, France, Netherlands, Japan, Canada, Austria. That's about what I came up with too. In my little list. I think, yeah, this is what I came up with, which is pretty much the same list that you just spat out, I think. And we are done. Don't even have to shut the doors. Look at that. How good is that? Prime Mover says Oakville needs a remaster. I don't know. It actually looks okay, to be honest. I think it looks pretty decent. It wouldn't hurt to give it a remaster, but then it probably wouldn't work on some Gen 9 consoles. Because that's where all that came from. Putting in so much detail, it's kind of what's caused dramas for Gen 9s. Prime Mover. Oh, sorry. Ferromaro says I'll probably install this tomorrow. Hopefully it's not too complicated. No, you just dump the 3 pack files into the DLC folder, and that's pretty much it, and you get a new timetable. Am I going to have a steak dinner? No, probably not. I will probably have some lunch first, I think. And Wales. Yes, Wales. There we go. There is another country. I knew there was. But you could argue whether Wales is a country or not. But I would go with yes, it is, because they have their own language. And I think they've got their own parliament too, don't they? Anyway, Prime Mover says it's not difficult assuming you have all the DLC. Yeah, so check what you've actually got. And I owe myself a bottle with it. Fair enough, John 907i. Anyway, folks, enjoy yourselves. I will be back on a Wednesday night. I'll work out what we're going to do. It might be a run of the small map in Railroader, because we haven't done that for a couple of weeks. There's a lot of stuff coming out soon, though. So there's cargo lines about to come out, military. So I'll have a look at that when it comes out, whenever that is. I'm not sure when that is. I've forgotten, because I'm like that. But anyway, we'll do something with that one, do something on Wednesday, probably back on Sunday again, and we will get on with the fun. So enjoy yourselves. Have fun, folks, and I shall see you later. Bye. Which button is it? It's that one.